On March 21st, Huawei officially launched the Pura X, and the first batch of users has already received their new devices. One user, after purchasing the Huawei Pura X, encountered a problem where the phone screen froze and could not be swiped. He mocked, "This is the store's display model, and our internet at home is bad." Other customers in physical stores also faced problems while trying out the new Pura X foldable phone. Some people discovered that certain apps could not open on their outer screen, and the video of this issue was later deleted. Another customer experienced an issue where the camera on the outer screen wouldn't open, and even after unfolding the phone, the camera on the inner screen also failed to work.
哎呀，出 bug 了，它全局模糊了，我靠。
There's a bug. The entire screen is blurry, like the whole interface is covered with a film. Even though I can't clearly see the apps, I can still drag any app on the home screen. Let me try moving one. Yup, still works. Honestly, this design is kind of interesting, but if you want me to pay 7,999 yuan for it, I'd definitely hesitate. With this phone, opening it with one hand is a bit risky, so I'd recommend using two hands. What people online have said is true. It can indeed be used like a tablet, but holding it this way makes it hard to move my thumb to a different position. It's not very stable like this. It's rare for a phone launch to receive widespread criticism, but Huawei's Pura X has achieved just that. On March 20th, Huawei officially launched the new Pura X foldable phone, featuring a 16:10 aspect ratio wide foldable screen. The inner screen measures 6.3 inches, while the outer screen is 3.5 inches. It has a battery capacity of 4,720 milliamps. This is also the first Huawei smartphone to ship with a Pure Harmony OS 5.0, pre-installed. In terms of pricing, the standard version with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage costs 7,500 yuan, while the 12 gigabyte RAM and 512 gigabyte storage version is priced at 8,000 yuan. The premium edition is much more expensive, with 16 gigabytes RAM, 512 gigabyte version costing 9,000 yuan, and the 16 gigabyte RAM and the 1 terabyte version reaching 10,000 yuan. Before the launch, Huawei's business executive Yu Chendong frequently promoted the phone using phrases like "a new form factor no one has ever imagined," affordable prices, and "everyone can afford it," building anticipation among customers.
我今年想做一个全国人民抢购都能买得起，全国人民抢购的产品。
This year, I hope to create a product that everyone across the country will rush to buy, something that everyone can afford. The launch event, which Huawei called the most important event of the year, faced major backlash, from technical issues during the live stream to the new product lacking innovation and looking similar to other brands' products. All at a high price, the event became a target for ridicule. Next time, before the launch, it might be better if Mr. Yu says less about being far ahead. Huawei has become the only brand I truly dislike. I wouldn't even take this phone if it were given to me for free, as I'd have to pay for repairs myself. Other brands like Xiaomi and Motorola already release similar foldable phones, and the prices are only 2,000 to 3,000 yuan. How's this Huawei's innovation? Only a fool would buy a Huawei phone. After years of developing Harmony OS, the ecosystem is still terrible, with too few apps supported. Almost everyone I know has switched back to Android. It was a complete waste of time. Some users expressed frustration over the high price, stating they couldn't afford it due to a declining monthly income, and some even mentioned taking out loans for purchases. Others pointed out that the price was too high and out of reach for most consumers, especially with the current economic downturn. Many decided not to buy the new phone as long as their old devices were still functional. From far ahead to negative marketing, the controversy surrounding Huawei Pura X has sparked a public relations crisis. Many TikTokers have posted videos complaining. Huawei's newly released Pro X phone is priced at 7,499 yuan. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with setting a high price for a phone, but then Yu Chendong says that they should be affordable for everyone. Should I sell everything I own to buy this phone and call that affordable? Or do you think everyone in the country is rich? How many cities in China have an average salary of over 7,000 yuan? Are you asking everyone to sell a kidney? Or did you hide 7,000 yuan worth of coupons and not give them out? Your previous luxury car launch, which was meant to compete with Maybach, only sold 2,000 units in 2 days, while Xiaomi sold far more at their launch. Everyone knows the numbers. After all this, we really have to point out the flaws. We can't mock people who can't afford it, right, Mr. Yu?
起售价7499，号称人人都买得起，不是。
Starting at 7,499 yuan, claiming it's affordable for everyone. Are you sure you understand what affordable for everyone means? One thing I can't understand is, why is it that in the past couple of years, domestic phones are priced nearly 10,000 yuan, and electric cars are priced in the tens or even hundreds of thousands? Is everyone really that rich, or am I the only one who's poor? Can someone tell me? Huawei's Pura X has faced a major setback, mainly due to its affordable marketing before the phone's release. However, market feedback suggests that the price makes it unrealistic for everyone to afford. Let's take a look at the hourly wage of workers in China. Is it true that everyone can afford the Huawei Pura X? What would the price of a phone that everyone could afford in China be? Using data from the National Bureau of Statistics, the per capita disposable income in China for 2024 is 41,314 yuan, a 5.3% increase from the previous year, with a real increase of 5.1% after adjusting for inflation. Meanwhile, consumer prices are also rising, which translates to an average monthly income of around 3,400 yuan. According to global consumption patterns, the price of a phone should be no more than one's monthly salary, making the reasonable price range for a phone between 1,000 and 3,500 yuan. Sales data shows that the low-end market, phones priced under 1,400 yuan, accounts for 31.5% of sales, making it the most popular price range. The mid-range market, 1,400 to 4,300 yuan, holds 28% of the market share, while the high-end market, phones priced above 4,300 yuan, holds 30.9%. Phones priced below 4,300 yuan remain the dominant force in the market. With wages not increasing significantly over the past decade, workers can no longer support the rising cost of living, particularly in today's uncertain economic climate. As consumers become more cautious, Yu Chendong's earlier comment about launching a product affordable for everyone seems to be an unrealistic marketing pitch. After the launch of the Pura X, public expectations quickly plummeted. Some noted that Samsung had already launched a small foldable screen phone 5 years ago. In 2019, Samsung introduced the Galaxy Z Flip, the first small foldable phone priced around $1,380, which is about 9,000 yuan. 5 years later, the Z Flip series has reached its sixth generation, Z Flip 6, with a starting price of $999, around 7,000 yuan. With more advanced technology, improved quality control, and better app compatibility, the Z Flip series offers a more refined product. The Pura X wide foldable phone opens up like an iPad mini and folds like a compact mirror. A TikToker who got the phone early was asked about the hand feel. Her response resonates with everyone right away.
很多人问我这个手机手感是怎么样，这不就是黑莓吗？
This is just like a BlackBerry, isn't it? It feels exactly the same. The hand feel, the size, really no words.
She also found an image of the BlackBerry 9788 and compared it to the Pura X. The size proportions were very similar, especially when the virtual keyboard was activated, as its position closely resembled that of the BlackBerry's physical keyboard. The BlackBerry 9788, released in 2011, was known for its sturdy build and keyboard-centric design. While some appreciated its solid feel, others found it too bulky. The Pura X, a foldable phone, features a 6.3-inch widescreen display. When folded, it has a thickness of approximately 10 millimeters and weighs around 215 grams. While not excessively heavy, it does feel weightier compared to the current trend of slimmer designs, especially when contrasted with a 187-gram Samsung Z Flip 6. The frequent questions about its hand feel indicate high expectations for the Pura X. After all, with a starting price of 7,499 yuan, a foldable phone is expected to deliver a premium experience. However, comparisons to a BlackBerry suggest its design may lack novelty. The Pura X appears to have fallen short in terms of innovation and user experience. Huawei's marketing has long favored bold slogans and far ahead has drawn criticism before. This time, the attempt to attract attention with affordable for everyone overlooked public expectations regarding price, making backlash unsurprising. During a CCTV live broadcast on March 21st, Yu Chendong responded to criticism, acknowledging that he has low emotional intelligence and that people have seized on his words to criticize him. He explained that the development of foldable screens requires significant investment and expressed willingness to accept feedback. Addressing concerns about the Pura X's high price, Huawei stated that it offers 12-month interest-free installments, reducing the monthly cost to around 600 yuan. Essentially, this financing option lowers the purchasing barrier. Yu Chendong has since refrained from using the phrase affordable for everyone. Aside from the price, the Huawei Pura X has also faced criticism for its lack of innovation. Huawei's Pura X features the native Harmony OS, along with upgrades to imaging and communication functions, which initially seems like highlights. However, if consumers find that the experience is merely a slight improvement, the flashy marketing will be ineffective. For example, while the imaging upgrades may involve higher resolution and improved algorithms, the actual photo quality may not show a substantial leap. The so-called new form is simply a minor adjustment to the screen ratio and folding mechanism, falling short of the innovative changes consumers were expecting. Once these discrepancies become apparent, trust in the product will naturally diminish. Let's also discuss Pure Harmony OS. When Harmony OS Next was launched, Huawei made bold claims about it being completely independent of Android, developed entirely in-house. However, once users got their hands on it, they found poor app compatibility. Many popular apps were either unavailable or had incomplete features, and the system wasn't very stable. Huawei's problem is that their initial marketing was too aggressive, which led to inflated consumer expectations that the actual experience couldn't meet. Experts have pointed out that earlier versions of Harmony OS still carry traces of Android's technology, and the current emphasis on pure Harmony OS seems like an attempt to save face. The open-source framework of Google's Android is public, so Huawei using it isn't surprising, but when legal and public pressures mounted, insisting it was completely independent became untenable. It's worth noting that the Pura X is equipped with the full version of the Kirin 9020. Industry insiders believe that the performance and power efficiency of this chip do not meet current flagship standards. Its overall performance is comparable to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, the version made by Samsung, not the 8 Plus Gen 1. The single-core performance is weaker, while multi-core performance is better. The GPU is much weaker, and the energy efficiency is similar. Given this, the 7,499 yuan price tag for the Pura X seems inflated. For reference, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 phones, such as the Xiaomi 12S, now sell for only 2,000 to 3,000 yuan in the second-hand market.
下恐华为久矣，现在华为的风评是越来越差了。
The world has long suffered from Huawei's actions. Now, Huawei's reputation is only getting worse. The following are just some of Huawei's die-hard fans blindly praising the brand. As a serious second-hand phone seller, let me explain why Huawei's reputation is in decline. Let's look at Huawei's three product lines: low-end, mid-range, and high-end. The low-end is represented by the Nova 13, priced at 2,499 yuan, with a Kirin 8000 processor, which is equivalent to the Snapdragon 778G, a low-end processor. The Nova 9 used this processor 5 years ago. Not just that, but the Nova 10 and Nova 11 also use a Snapdragon 778G for 3 years in a row. This is Huawei. Only with the Nova 12 and Nova 13 did they switch to their so-called self-developed Kirin 8000. but its performance actually falls short of the Snapdragon 778G. This is a 5-year-old chip. Are you really thinking of buying this to give to your parents? Yu Chendong's big promises marketing strategy has not only eroded the brand's trust, but also caused significant fluctuations in the capital market. In the past, whenever Huawei released a new product, related stocks typically saw a rise. However, after the launch of the Pura X, concept stocks dropped sharply. The stock of companies like Feng Assist fell by more than 10% by the close of trading, while closely related companies such as Fury Electronics and Guanghong Technology saw their stocks drop by more than 5%. This market reaction reflects growing skepticism about Huawei's high-end strategy. The last Huawei phone to spark such a heated discussion was the Mate X-T, released in September of last year. Recently, a TikToker named Wei Ziguang posted a video on Douyin exposing the top 10 pitfalls of Huawei Mate X-T foldable phone.
客观反映华为三折叠手机的10大坑，以及
Huawei's foldable phone has severely impacted my daily work and life. If it hadn't been such a major issue, I wouldn't have shared this. I bought the Huawei foldable phone for 23,000 yuan at full price at the end of last year. After using it for over 3 months, there have been too many problems. Today, I'll briefly share 10 of them. First, quality control issues. I spent over 20,000 yuan on this phone, and the screen has started leaking. This isn't just my phone. When the technician came to collect it, he told me that this is a common problem with this brand's phones. It happens much more frequently than with other brands, which has lowered the resale value to only 6,000 yuan. Second, the phone automatically hangs up calls. This Huawei phone often disconnects calls on its own without any reason. Third, during calls, the earphone suddenly switched to speaker mode, causing awkward situations in public. Fourth, sometimes the photos you take don't appear in the gallery. Fifth, the search function doesn't work. The blogger said, "We often need to search for someone, a chat record, or an app, but when I hit search, the result is just blank." 6. Huawei phones don't work properly abroad. The blogger complained, "For those of us doing global business, Huawei phones are extremely inconvenient. International calls are difficult, and many calls are automatically blocked, and overseas apps can't be downloaded. Even with their Going Abroad Easy app, it's useless. Anyone who's used it knows this phone is worthless once you leave the country." 7. Swiping the phone screen causes it to jump to a different page. 8th, you can't use a camera for verification submissions. 9th, forwarding WeChat chats or records doesn't work. The recipient doesn't receive them. 10th, using WeChat has many problems, like being unable to add friends, pages not turning properly, and disappearing chat histories and messages. I've made up my mind. I've decided that I can't use this phone anymore. It's not about the money. This phone, costing over 20,000 yuan, doesn't work properly. It can't even make a normal call. What kind of experience is that? The video sparked widespread discussion. Viewers felt that Wei Ziguang was extremely unlucky to be so badly affected by the Huawei Mate X-T's issues. Only 6 months after its release, the Mate X-T began experiencing various issues, including screen leakage, automatic calls hanging up, earphone amplifier switching, blank photos, search failures, poor compatibility with overseas apps, interface bugs, camera verification failures, issues with forwarding features, and WeChat adaptation problems. These issues span hardware, software, and ecosystem compatibility, making it hard for users to accept the unfinished product experience from a high-end flagship phone. Now, like the Mate X-T, the Huawei Pura X has also disappointed users. Huawei seems to have only its ability to mislead consumers, with flashy marketing terms left. Every time Huawei claims to be far ahead, it is ultimately humbled by reality.